There has been a ton of drama with this game as soon as it came out. 3 days in, and we already got content creators and everybody's up in arms yelling and talking about how this is so different from other games. The devs have actually brought out a brand new tweet and a blog for us to review. So that's what we're going to do today, guys. We're going to talk about the things that they're promising us and the things that they're apologizing for. Let's check it out. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Punishing Gray video. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about the dev blog extra mess hall chatter number E001. That's right, they're doing their best to make it coincide with the game is. And essentially what this is, guys, is the devs bringing out a blog on the Twitter page to kind of talk about some of the issues that have been happening with the game. And I want to discuss with you guys what exactly those issues are. As you guys know, there's been a lot of drama for the first 3 days that it came out, and a lot of content creators as well as players were up in arms with the changes that were happening between the Chinese version, the Japanese version, as well as the one that dropped in global. And this is now becoming kind of a trend. It's really frustrating me because they've done this with so many different games. For some reason, when a game comes out global, they just treat global players like crap, right? And I mean, like, they change things like pity systems, where they increase the pity system number count that's required. They increase the prices of packages. They don't give us special pre-registration items, you know. And I mean, and the list goes on for how often this happens to global players. And I'm still baffled at the concept of this, because I do understand we as global players don't spend as much as, let's say, Japanese players or Chinese players, or, you know, the Asian culture, because they're really hardcore into gachas. But it's not to say that should make developers treat people differently. Now, I understand a lot of you will say, well, Payne, it's about a regional thing. It's about based on regions. Regions get different things, different costs, currency exchange, of course. But absolutely, and that is all valid points. But it's gotten to the point where it's becoming like they're almost taking advantage of global players. So let's talk about what the devs are referring to, right? So let's start from the beginning. Good to talk to you again, Commandant. Earth's treating you well. This is a communique from the PGR dev staff. Phew, it's been a while, few days. Yes, it has, since our last development blog update, and we've been reading through the many responses from our commandants. Commandants. We are genuinely moved to see so much support from so many players, and we're also here to put the fears of more doubtful players to rest. Now, this is what I'm referring to. So this is the up in arms situation I was talking about, and all the players who were complaining, as well as content creators, about the changes that were happening between global and other versions. So this is what they're referring to, okay? That's why we're here in the mess hall for the first of hopefully many chats. We'd like to talk a little less formally to all active commandants about our futures, goals for Punishing Gray Raven, and our plans to make it the best game it can be together. Now that's positive, because they're apologizing and they're saying they want to listen to the community. That's a big step for a lot of devs, guys. If you don't understand, like, there are many games where devs don't even listen to players. They just continue with the plan and whatever the business aspect of it is, and they rely usually on 1% of the whales to keep the game floating. This is a fantastic way to begin a conversation, by saying, we apologize, we understand there's a lot of doubtful people out there, and we want to put those doubts to rest, and we want to do it together as a community, make this game the best possible game out there as a community, as well as a dev team, right? Working together. So this is great. Now, about the R&D pool and probabilities. Now, R&D, guys, is a summoning gacha system to get weapons and characters, okay? Some commandants were worried that we'll change the guaranteed probabilities and new character launch schedules to boost profitability. Now, this is huge for companies. They're saying that, they're admitting, a lot of people are saying this. Now, most companies will go this route, right? Rest assured, that's not our plan. That's key. And we're confirming that the R&D pool probabilities on new characters will be based on our original CN servers. That is the Chinese servers, and that's amazing, because those servers are the ones that are currently reaping the benefits of it, right? The 100% guarantee for new S characters and 80% guarantee for 6-star weapons will remain unchanged, and that is absolutely fantastic, because that was one of the ones that people worried about, that they were going to change from the CN version. And the fact that they're keeping it, that's a great step for this game going forward, because the gacha system in a game, and a gacha game specifically, make or break it, right? So the pity system remains unchanged. However, there is a however. Due to launching much later, some changes to the update schedule are unavoidable for the global servers. There may be some schedule tweaks needed for all characters to receive their time in the probability booster limelight across both arrival and Faith arrival pools, and that's fine. So what they're essentially saying, guys, is the launch of each character will be a little bit delayed in comparison to the CN version, and that is okay. So we will have to wait a little longer for some of those characters, but you know what? Being patient versus being unlucky because they've changed the way the pity system works are two way different things. Patience is easy to do. being unlucky is a lot harder. There's no control over that, right? So this is a good sign. About our content update schedule. Okay, this is the big one. Let's just cut to the chase. Now, as you know, there's not a lot of content in the game because it just came out. And answer the question that so many have asked you. Yes, we hope to bring over as much content from the CN version as we can, and we'll be sticking closely to the original reward structure to maintain parity between versions. Now, this is one of the big ones, guys. They were giving a lot less rewards in the global version versus the CN version. They were giving us less time in events. So they were kind of screwing global players over. Now they're saying they're going to try to mimic it as close as possible as they can, which is fantastic. And they're also planning to bring a lot of the content over to CN. As with our character pools, there may be some differences in the release schedule, which they talked about above, based on the current developer workload, needs of players, and the time required to localize, especially content-rich events. And that's, again, that makes sense, so we're okay with that. Seasonal event content such as Christmas and Halloween may be rescheduled to better correspond with the actual calendar event rather than the version number has been associated with in its original CN release. And again, totally understandable. If they need to coincide those events with actual Halloween and actual Christmas, hey, you know what? That gives us more hype as players in the global version to look forward to those things outside of it already being a holiday for us, right? Why? Because it's weird to have Christmas happening in the middle of summer. Completely understand, and that's my point right there, right? So again, very thought out response and good reasoning behind it, and that's key, guys, for developers, right? About localized content. So this one's big. This is one area where we may noticeable differences between regions, and of course that makes sense, as some content is tailored to each region. Now, what they mean by that, guys, is a lot of the things we get in global, a lot of Asian cultures or Asian countries cannot receive that content. There's like things like undead, for example, characters or something like that. There's a lot of countries that don't allow that kind of thing, so they have to tweak the characters, redo a little bit of it, so the content may be different there versus what we get here, and that's totally understandable and respectable as a dev that they're catering to the region that they're releasing this content for. As such, some may be added, removed, or swapped out as appropriate. Again, what I just mentioned, like some pieces of furniture, memories, and some special coatings. And the coatings are a big one because those are the things that make characters look undead, robotic, human, etc. Right? Don't worry though, we won't be trying to pass off any rice balls as jelly donuts. So essentially, you won't get apples and oranges. You're gonna get apples and apples, right? So they're gonna try to make it as close as possible as they can, without affecting the overall atmosphere and core combat experience. We want to give players in each region a fresh experience, and you can see roughly what to expect by comparing what regional goodies are available on the JP and TW servers. So overall, guys, this is very good news. Like, first off, the fact that the devs are actually speaking to the community as they are almost apologetic and reassuring us that they are taking the right steps to take care of the issues that were happening in the first place. That is big for devs. You have to understand, a lot of these big companies, and they're not a big company, like Kuro Games are not a big company, but they are making a quality game, and they want people to recognize that and not leave the game for something else that will give them things they're not providing, right? So it's a very good move for the community and for the dev team to do this, and overall just a fantastic positive experience for us as players to see the devs apologizing and making up for the problems they had. So it looks like they're saying, rest assured, guys, like, we will do as much as we can to keep the CN, the JP, the Taiwanese, and the global version as close as possible, with some tweaks to scheduling, character releases, and of course coding and some special things like that, like furniture and memories, right? So that's totally okay. So again, I applaud the company for doing this. This is the right step in the right direction, and I hope it continues to go this way because I'm thoroughly enjoying this game. And what I'll show you guys next is what $1,000, $1,500 actually can do for your account. So I'll show you guys my characters. I'm going to do some character showcases for you guys, and overall just talk about like what teams I enjoy using, why, and then we're going to break down every skill. So we're going to go deep into character diving because so far, guys, this is one of my favorite games that I've played in a very long time, because you get full control of your character. I actually like that there is no auto. It kind of forces you to use your skill rather than auto, and that makes it really fun for the first time in a long time, because most games I'm playing have a skip button or an auto button. So I applaud the dev team. Now, I do wish some of the things can be more skippable, because right now you can only use skip for story quests, but you can't do it for like material hunting. So I kind of wish they had that for for people who don't have the time to do it all the time. But right now, guys, incredible game. I hope you're enjoying it. This is Payne. Again, good job, dev team. I applaud this. Totally applaud. It's a big step forward, and I hope continue to see good news from this game, because I want to continuously cover it and put this on my one of the main games that I'm going to be doing overall. Right. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed the news. Hope you enjoyed your day. We'll talk soon. Take care.